Hey you, how are you doing? If you want to learn English, then stay here because we are going to learn English today. We are going to learn some phrasal verbs. My name is English teacher Matthew, and welcome to Fun with Phrasal Verbs, where we learn many phrasal verbs twice a week. And thank you very much for joining me today. Remember, go get your notebook and pen because maybe you're going to learn something new, and it's always good to keep some notes and make some to remember the words. Are you ready? Let's start our class, our presentation. Welcome everyone. Today we're going to talk about phrasal verbs with in, okay? Now, what is a phrasal verb? A phrasal verb is basically a verb with two or more words. Usually a verb and a preposition, okay? Sometimes we can exchange them just for the verb and just put the object after, but sometimes we can put the object in between. If Priya's ready, that's great news. So I'm happy you are ready, Priya. And I'll let you know if any of these verbs are separable or inseparable. Now, sometimes when we have the preposition, especially, it actually has a specific meaning. So if we are thinking about all of the phrasal verbs within, then usually actually the phrasal verb, if you just add in after the end of it, it usually keeps its original meaning, which means the meaning of the verb is the same as the verb plus ing. However, in can also have the meaning of having to move towards something, or are already within something, inside something. Hello, Lolly. Nice to have you here today. Welcome back. Lolly is a good student. She always comments on every single video. So thank you so much for being here again, Lolly. Looking at the first one, are you ready? The first one we've got here is to show someone in. If you show someone in, then it means you show or allow someone to enter. Please come in. Excuse me, Mary, could you show our guests in, please? Okay. So maybe Mary is a secretary, I guess, or maybe the butler or the nanny or something in a rich house. Maybe she is the president's nanny. And excuse me, Mary, could you show our guests in, please? Please allow me to show Mr. Biden in. Who is Mr. Biden? You know who is Mr. Biden. No problem, Lolly. When he arrives, my secretary will show him in. So when he arrives, the secretary will say, please come into the office. It's this way. Show him in. If you come to my class, I will show you in. Please come in. Come into my class. Don't be scared. Usher in. It's a good one. Today, by the way, we're going to talk about some phrasal verbs that are not so simple and not so common, because I know you already know them. So we're going to learn some interesting ones like this one, usher in. What is usher in? Well, it means begin or cause a period of change. So if something is ushered in or something ushers in something, then it means there's a period of change. Amir or Shana, hello. Hello, nice, and thank you so much for joining us today from Lebanon. Hope the weather is good. The Industrial Revolution ushered in a period of great change. So there was the Industrial Revolution. Do you know what that is? During this period, a lot of things changed. And because of this, many things after that changed. The end of the war ushered in a peaceful period of history until the next war. So, usher in to change, right? Did you know there's a new British Prime Minister? Maybe that will usher in a new policy direction for the government. I don't know. Okay, so that one is usher in. The next one is bring in. What is bring in? Well, it has many different meanings. Bring in can mean earn some money. I brought in a few $1,000,000 worth of sales this quarter. I earned a few $1,000,000 of sales. Did you bring in any money this month? Remember to bring in the stuff from outside. There will be a storm tonight. Uh-oh. So bring in also means bring inside. So, for example, if you have a garden and there's something in your garden and you want to tell someone to bring it in, then this is what you would say. Bring it in. Bring in. Bring the stuff in. If it's raining, by the way, make sure you bring your stuff in. I hope the sales will bring the customers in. Me too. Now here the sales is like a period of time in the shops when everything gets cheaper, right? When there's sales, it definitely brings me in because I like buying cheap stuff. So if there is a sale, I will be brought in. I hope the sales will bring the customers in. That's what every single boss of every single retail company is hoping for. Yes, like earn money and make money, right? If you bring in some money, it means you earn money and you make money, okay? Earn and make money, lolly lolly, thank you for your comment. Actually, it has the same meaning, right? So you can also change it for bring in. Lolly lolly, did you bring any money in this month? Did you bring any money in this quarter? It's a good question, thank you. Usually, though, when we're talking about our job, we might say, I earn money. I go to work to earn money. Whereas maybe when we're talking about a business, we might say, my business makes money. If you wanted some kind of a difference. Lolly lolly, that's what I would say. Let's hope so, Priya. I hope this live stream will bring in some phrasal verbs to your brain. I like your picture, by the way, and it will stay there. Let's hope so. Hopefully, Priya, you can cash in on this live stream. No problem, lolly lolly. It's my pleasure. So, what does cash in on? Well, cash in on basically means to take advantage of something. So, cash here means money, right? That money. So you can imagine usually this has something to do with business, like we have in our examples. Petrol stations cashed, oh, I'm sorry, lolly lolly. Petrol stations cashed in on the petrol shortage by increasing the prices, of course. That's what usually happens, right? During a petrol shortage, the petrol station will go, okay, our petrol now costs this much money. They cashed in on their competitors' bankruptcy by taking their customers. Bankruptcy is when you don't have any money left and you have to close your company. That is cash in on. The next one is set in. When something sets in, we usually say something sets in. It means it becomes or begins to be established, which means it starts, basically. As the recession is setting in, as the recession. No, so before we continue, lolly lolly is a great question because this is cash in on, and actually this is a 3-word phrasal verb, right? It has 2 particles, it has 2 prepositions, so it's a special one. So we can't actually separate it. We have to say cash in on, okay? Because some phrasal verbs, thank you Priya, have 2 prepositions. So that's why we have run out of. It's also phrasal verb, but there's 2 preposition, okay? Here cash in on is we have to keep it together, cash in on something. So it's a good question. So basically, Priya, to answer your question, there's not really any answer to it. It's just the word. It's sometimes the phrasal verb can be 3 words long, like cash in on or run out of. Run out of is another common phrasal verb. Run out of petrol, run out of paper, it means you don't have any anymore, right? But whereas run out, it can mean like I open the door and run. So you see there's a difference in the meaning. As the recession is setting in, as the recession is starting, recession is when there is a period of instability financially, we should be careful with our money, right? We should be careful with our money as the recession is setting in. As the cold weather sets in, people will use their heating more often. They will use their central heating to make their homes really warm because the cold weather has set in. If you want to get rid of a stain, like a dirty mark on your clothes, make sure you start cleaning before it sets in, because if the stain sets in, then it's very difficult to get out, right? I hate so I hate stains. Whenever I see a stain after eating, I'm like, oh, I've got to clean it very quickly. Otherwise, it will set in. Fit in. Fit in. Be accepted in a group. There's one meaning. He doesn't fit in with any of the other kids at school. Like he can't make a good relationship with them. They just can't fit in. You all fit in, by the way, to this live stream. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Working as a computer programmer really fits in with my personality. So fit in also means it's suitable, right? Maybe studying something fits in with your personality. Doing a hobby fits in with your personality too. We can say something like that, right? How about you? Is there something you do that fits in with your personality? Let me know in the comments. Okay. Factor in. So if we factor in something, it means we include it when we are calculating something or understanding something. Yes, Priya. People from Mars can't fit in with people from Earth. That's right. Sorry. We need our oxygen and gravity. So, like I said, factor in is when we start calculating or understanding something. We need to factor in the loss of our most important client, okay? We need to kind of calculate when we make our report or when we want to think about our result. We have to factor in, we have to calculate the loss of our most important client. Before accepting this job, you need to factor in the commute, right? You need to factor in the commute because if you factor in the commute, then you think about it like, oh, maybe this job isn't so good. Maybe the pay is very good, but it takes me 2 hours to get to work. Maybe it's not a good job after all. When giving out bonuses, the boss factored in their overtime. So when the boss was deciding the bonus, like how much money to give everyone as a gift, as a present, he was thinking, oh, have they done any overtime? Oh, yes, this person's done overtime. So maybe I need to give them some bonus, right? I need to give them some bonus. How about you? Is there anything you need to factor in when you are doing something? Okay. Come in. Now come in, maybe you've heard of before to mean like to enter. Please come in, like this. I came in while the meeting was in progress. I came in as everyone was talking in the meeting. New stock will come in next Monday. So new stock also means to arrive. So if you're a shop person and you are busy with your shop and your shop business, you will always wait for the new stock that will come in. Can I come in here and make a point? Yes, you could say something like that. Can I come in here and make a point? It means to join something that's already happening. Yes, before commenting, I have to factor in my sentence formation. It's a good It's a good one, I think, Priya. It's definitely true. You definitely have to factor that in because you have to think, oh, is that right? Did I use past tense correctly? You have to think about these kind of things, right? So it's a good comment. So, can I come in here and make a point? This could also mean like to interrupt as well. Okay, thank you. By the way, if you do have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below as well. Let's move on to the next one, which is to build in. If we build in something, it means we incorporate it or we include something, okay? So we put something inside of something. We build it in. We need to build in a way to cancel the contract. So maybe when we are making a contract with somebody, we also need something in the contract where we can cancel it, for example, right? So that's what we need to build in. We need to build in some additional measures to this legislation. Maybe this is something a lawyer or parliamentarian would say. We need to build in some additional measures to this legislation. Legislation is just a big long word to mean law. We need to put some extra things into this law to make it better. Okay, pitch in. If you pitch in, you contribute. Thank you for pitching in the comments, by the way. If we all pitch in, if we all contribute, if we all do a little job each, it should not take long. After people saw the comment online, people started pitching in with more comments on the product. When I purchased this house, when I bought this house, everyone pitched in to help me fix it up. If you fix something up, it means you repair it, okay? Extra phrasal verb. So, thank you for pitching in and pitch in to contribute. If we are boxed in, it means we are surrounded. Oh no, and we cannot get out. The movement is very difficult. I am boxed into a box. She was boxed in by the other cars, so she couldn't move. So imagine you're on your bicycle, and there's a car here, and a car here, and a car here. You are boxed in. You cannot go anywhere. It's like you are inside a box, right? With all these rules, I feel a bit boxed in. Sometimes there's so many rules that you can't do anything freely. I can't say this, I can't do that. I'm so boxed in. We were boxed in and couldn't get out of the car park. Sometimes this happens to me as well. You're sitting in your car and because so many people have parked their cars in the parking lot, there's a car here, a car here, a car here, and a car here again, and you're like, help, I can't get out. I am boxed in. But don't feel boxed in. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Sorry for cutting in. This is our next phrasal verb because cut in means interrupt. Maybe somebody was talking and somebody says, hello, hello, sorry for cutting in. So I was just talking to her when Dave cut in. Dave. So interrupt. She kept cutting in on our conversation. I was trying to talk to someone, but she kept cutting in. She kept wanting to say something. Sorry to cut in. This is what you can say if you want to interrupt nicely and kindly. You can say sorry to cut in. Sorry to cut in, but blah, blah, blah. Okay, very good. We still have a few more phrasal verbs, by the way. This one, do you remember this one? This one is to squash in, to get into a small space. Yes, it's true, right? Teacher Matthew is looking like he is boxed in YouTube in a rectangular box. Yes, help, I am boxed in. I cannot get out. Oh, ow. So I am boxed in. If you're in prison or jail, you will feel boxed in too. Squash in. By the way, I also stream on Hello Talk, and we had this the other day. Do you remember? This is squashed in. This is squashed in. If you try to squash in, it means you try to get into a very small space. Sorry, but my car is a bit small, so you'll all have to squash in. Maybe I only have 4 seats in my car, but there are 5 people who want to get into my car, so you all have to squash in. Lolly lolly, great. Kids are not allowed to cut in. Yes, very good. That's right, squeeze in is another one, right? Squeeze in was another one. It's very similar. Can you try squash in somewhere? A squash and squeeze have a similar meaning. Next one. Let in. I opened the curtains to let in some light. Oh. So let in means allowed to enter. Maybe I've locked my door and I need to let my cat in. Maybe that's a good idea, actually. Could you close the curtains? They're still letting in some light. We don't want any light in here. Don't let it in. Don't let the light in. Could you let me in, please? I don't know if you can hear the cat, but that's probably what my cat is saying. Could you let me in, please? Okay, very good. Let's move on to the final phrasal verb, and that is lead in. Now, this is an interesting one because it's not really a verb, but I thought it was cool. But this is actually a noun, because sometimes we can make phrasal verbs into nouns, and this is one. Usually the nouns have the hyphen, which is like the little line. You see lead, line, in. Usually the line means it's a noun. So a lead in is something that introduces something else, okay? Let's use this presentation. Let's use the presentation as a lead in to our discussion. So let's watch the presentation, let's listen to the presentation, and then we'll have our discussion. We should use this piece of music as a lead in for the show. Maybe I need a piece of music to lead into this show. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, so there we have it. There we have it, folks. Thank you so much. So that is the phrasal verbs of the day today. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's just review some of them now. Lead in, something that introduces something else. Let in, allow to enter. Squash in, to get into a small space. Cut in, to interrupt. Box in, to surround and make movement difficult. Pitch in, to contribute. Build in, to incorporate or include something. Come in, to enter, to arrive, to join something already happening. To factor in. That's right. Maybe I should do that. To include something when calculating or understanding. Fit in, to be accepted or to be suitable with other people, with other things. To set in, to start, to become established. Cash in on, to take advantage. Bring in, to earn money, to bring in something inside, to entice people to enter a place. Please come in. Please come into the live stream. Usher in, to start or bring about a new period of change. And to show someone in. Please come in. So thank you so much for watching today's live stream. Thank you so much to everybody who was here today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lolly. Thank you so much. Thank you for your amazing comments. So thank you so much. Thank you so much to you. And also thank you to Priya. Thank you so much. And thank you to you as well for joining us all today. I hope you learned something new. And until next time, keep learning.